Welcome to the second lesson in the What is Investment Banking chapter on classifications of investment banks. Let's first take a look at bulge bracket investment banks. Although there's no single definition, most bulge bracket investment banks have a few things in common. They have expansive teams, reputable names, and immense expertise and experience. Some examples include Goldman Sachs, Citibank, and Credit Suisse. Bulge bracket banks usually handle deals that are $1 billion or greater in value. These banks have more recently been given the classification of Tier 1, and we'll talk shortly about other tiers of investment banks and what this means exactly. Remember, investment banks are service-providing firms that help clients acquire businesses or raise money. However, some investment banks also offer lending or personal deposits. Banks that offer these broad arrays of investment banking and consumer services are considered universal banks. Two prominent examples include JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America. Investment banks that operate on smaller scales than bulge brackets are considered middle market banks. The middle market describes deal sizes ranging from $50 million to $1 billion. Lower tier investment banks are split into Tier 2 and Tier 3. Tier 2 investment banks focus on specific regions or sectors. An example includes Stifel's Shareholder Advisory Group. Tier 3 banks are segmented mainly by region and operate in significantly competitive environments. Lincoln International, for example, bases most of its larger deals around Chicago-based clients. It's important to remember that oftentimes the lines are blurry between these distinctions, and investment banks arguably fit into multiple categories. The final classification we'll discuss is boutique. When one thinks of the name boutique, it's easy to think of small regional firms that don't have a well-known presence outside of a specific geographic segment. In reality, boutique investment banks are separately classified from the tier system. They could be bulge brackets, Tier 2, or Tier 3 banks. In general, boutiques are split into two categories, regional and elite. Regional boutiques are similar to the initial description I presented, focusing on smaller clients and geographic regions. Regional boutiques focus heavily on client relationships. Although they offer similar services, elite boutiques are very different. These banks have small deal teams, but often advise on much larger deals with more well-known clients. Two of the most prominent elite boutiques are Moelis and Lazard. Coming up next, we'll dive deep into how investment banks are structured and organized. We'll talk about different roles of various levels of investment bankers and expectations about working in the industry.